hope you're all doing the pink frog little dance as you. We were certainly here, weren't we, Claire?
We
were doing
indeed.
our little jumps. And now we are back with Pink Frog and an amazing hour. It's kind of a bit of an education in adhesive this hour, because we've got all sorts of adhesives that are perfect for those kind of special situations when you need to make sure you've got the right adhesive for the right job. And we've got a fabulous expert with us here for this hour. The lovely Claire's back again. How are you doing, Claire?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Second hour of the day.
Second hour.
So you were up with Yanis, is it about 3 o'clock this afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So our viewers can go back and watch that. But we're going to cover everything during this hour anyway, aren't we? So if you didn't see the show earlier, don't worry.
Yeah, definitely. We'll go through all the benefits of the glues and why we might choose to use one glue over a different glue depending on what we're doing.
Love it. Okie dokie. So we're going to kick things off with this well, not brand new, should I say, this first item that we've got for you is your EVA glue. Now, this is a relatively new one to the range, I believe, and it's got a pH value with regards to this one.
Yeah, so it's pH neutral. So what that means is it's archival quality. So it's used a lot in bookbinding. So that kind of shows you its quality, really.
Love it. And on the board here, we've got loads of scenarios though you're going to be able to use it. So all sorts from your kind of three-dimensional adhesives, which can be quite tricky to actually stick things in place that are like that.
Definitely, and because it dries clear as well, even if you're doing something like where we've done the twine, and it's a bit tricky, because it dries clear.
You can't see it, it's really, really good. So that would be something that I'd probably use a hot glue gun for usually, but you end up with all those spidery effects, don't you? We'll talk more about this as the hour progresses, but for the time being, let me give you those details. At 538442, you are going to get a huge bottle there, 225 mils, and we'll come back and we'll revisit that one in a few moments. But something else you might like to add in your basket alongside are these fabulous bottles. Now, these are brilliant because they're squeezy bottles, but they've got a fine tip on them as well.
They have. So the blue one's slightly finer than the yellow one, so you can tell that by the caps that you've got. So they're perfect for your fine detail work, but also for matting and layering as well. And the fact that you've got the pin in the cap means you just don't lose it. And if you're somebody like me who has quite a messy craft area around them, it saved me hours.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, you'll put the cap back on, and straight away that pin is going into the nozzle there. So these are invaluable. Now, if you're wanting to get hold of these, you're going to get both of those for $13.99. 603282. If you want to go for multiples of them, you can do. But they are certainly something worth adding in alongside that EVA glue that we were just talking about a few moments ago. 603282 if you want in those. But how about your colour glue? And this is a huge bottle, and it's a huge bottle for a reason, because this is something that we can use in so many different ways.
Definitely, the scope of what you can use this for is amazing. So as well as all your paper craft, you've got things like ceramic, polystyrene, leather. Yes, yeah. You know, the list goes on. It's a really strong glue.
Certainly is. Now, of course, it's in a large bottle, so do consider smaller bottles, perhaps like the ones we just looked at, to actually decant it into if you're wanting to, but you are getting a full litre of that for just £15.99, and it has got one of those fabulous nozzles at the top there, which you can just screw it and it will open up, as you can see there, and when you close it, it comes back into plate to block it up there. 227990. Now, incidentally, the first few items that we've been looking at, pop those into your basket, you'll find they come to £30 or more. So if you've got a £5 credit from yesterday, then of course you'll be able to use it during this show. Equally so, if you're going to be ordering anything today, even if it's just one of these items for a tenner or something like that, you will still get a £5 credit to spend tomorrow, and that's our Spring Saver event. You only have up until Tuesday evening though for that event to run, and you can't carry forward those savings, so just bear in mind, if you don't use them, then sadly you will lose them. Now, this is a fabulous glue that you might be wanting to get hold of, and this is your Coral Photo Gel Glue. Now, I've used this many, many years. It's a brilliant glue, and you're getting 3 tubes of this for $11.97.
It's brilliant value.
It is, yeah, phenomenal, yeah.
And just perfect for scrapbooking, perfect for anything you're going to put photographs in. So if you're doing any kind of mini books, or even if you're going to use things in your planner that you maybe want to put in there, but take out as well, because it is a temporary adhesive. Yes. So once it's dry, it kind of has this tack that you can just always take off. So
brilliant. I love that little face there. Absolutely adorable. Now, if you're wanting to get hold of these, £11.97. You're getting 3 tubes of those ones. And if you're wanting them, 272177 to pop that into your into your basket. That you may well have had to glue together. I don't know, you might have to. Now, another option of your glues is your 3-dimensional glue. Now, this is something, quite often we like to add that dimension. We like to build up the layers with projects, and this is where this particular glue comes into its own. You're gonna get 2 bottles of this. You're also gonna get your syringe, which is invaluable because it's a way of you actually working with this glue without the risk of the glue kind of setting within the tube, which we'll chat about. And you also get your little rollers, which are brilliant. It means you're going to use every last drop that you've got in there. Absolutely amazing. Now, £12.98 is your price for this one. Now, you can get them by themselves. At the bottom of the screen, you can see there where you can get hold of them. But for an extra couple of pounds, you can actually get 2 of them. Doesn't make sense, does it? So, and the tools as well. So there you go. Love it. So the one at the bottom of your screen is just for your glue, just to mention that. So it's just the glue, you're not going to get any of the additional bits and pieces. But if you're wanting the syringes and the keys, then, or we're calling them keys, aren't we? Yes. Then, yeah, the details are there. And of course, using it in so many different scenarios, again, with this particular one. So yes, if you fancy that one, let me just tip that. You can see the gel being used to lift up some of these elements. And of course, it dries clear as well. So nice and easy, as you can see there, all building up those layers. Sometimes you want to have that dimension, but you don't necessarily want to have the flatness, and that's why this comes into its own, and we'll chat about that in a little while. But before that, I need to tell you about your Quickie glue pens. This is something else that is absolutely incredible, and I always love it when we see these because I am astounded at how we can manage to do them at the price that we've got. Because I used to sell these in my shop, and I'm sure I sold them for about £4 a pen. Yeah,
for me, these were something going back years ago,
yes,
were treasured.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, you would use them very, very, you know...
kind of sparingly,
yeah,
didn't want to be without them,
and now I'm colouring in stamps and putting glitter on them and all kinds of things. Absolutely, because it's just such good value.
They're so affordable now. Now you're going to get all of those, and talking about adding glitters to your stamps, have a look at that. How incredible does that look? Filling in the detail that you've got there. Of course, we'll talk about all the different scenarios of using those pens in a little while. But it's basically like a ballpoint pen. So you've got a little ball bearing in there that will let that flow of glue come through, just in the same way as an ink would come through a ballpoint pen. But then you can use it in loads of different scenarios. So 771231 if you're wanting those. Love those. Looking forward to seeing those in action. But red liner tape. This is kind of a fundamental, isn't it? We see it so often when we're doing things like making boxes. I mean, Claire, this has got a grab to it, a grab that's not going to let go.
Definitely. I use it a lot for box construction, if I'm making the bags that we do at Pink Frog. Perfect for that. Instant grab, instant stick, but really strong bond as well. So
now, something that I'll always mention when we see these is the content that you're getting on each of those reels. You're getting 30 metres. So you might look at this and think, oh yeah, I've seen other bundles where you get 4 within a pack or 4 within a bundle. These are different because you're actually getting 6 rolls in one. So if I turn that around, you'll see from the label there, the equivalent that you would normally be getting. Quite often you will find that you're going to get 5 metres on one of those standard rolls. Well, this actually is equivalent to 6 of those, all being bound onto that one centre core. So it actually works out that when you're working at these at 58p per roll. So if you were to separate that up and decant it in the way that it's mentioned on there in your 5 metre length, then that's how much it would work out per roll. Now the beauty is each of these comes in its little plastic bags, and each of it is a different width. So you've got your 3, your 6, your 9 and your 12 mil. All on one roll, which I think is brilliant, and within its little bag, so you're not going to get all of those kind of elements of glitter and all sorts attached to it. And of course you can use it, as we mentioned there, with your bags and boxes, but just a quick sneaky peek of how those different kind of widths can come together in a decorative format there as well. That looks fabulous there, doesn't it? You've got your gilding flakes, your glitter, your foil, and even your heat embossed powders on there as well. Incredibly versatile. 825 310, I nearly said 310 then. £13.99 for those. Very, very popular. Now, what about your foam on a roll? Well, we can help you with that in abundance because you're getting a lot within this bundle. And again, this is something that's just so useful when it's in this format, Claire.
Definitely. And the amount that you get in that, so you get your 1,500 actual foam pads, but they're big pads as well. You've got the foam on a roll as well, great for your shaky cards, but then you've got the adhesive sheets as well. So you've got 2 2mm and 2 3mm. So
that's it. You're going to get your sheets as well, all of that coming to you as well. So you've got your continual, like you say, perfect if you're doing your shakers because you don't want any breaks, because you know what will happen, all your sequins will fall out. And then you've got your foam tabs, which are brilliant because they're separated up, as you can see there, so just tear off what you need. And then if you are looking at doing, again, you can do things like your frames where you're using your foam as well. You've got your different depths with regards to those. All of that coming together for just £24.99. Definitely the opportunity for you to stack up on those, isn't it? So 325813 if you are wanting to get hold of those. £5.50 saving on them. Now, what have we got next, Claire? Ooh, Quick Stick. What's Quick Stick?
So Quick Stick is a ultra fine double-sided adhesive. So it's got protection on both sides.
Right.
So it's got like a carrier sheet on both sides, which means it's ideal for die cutting.
Perfect.
So you can attach card to it and die cut it, or you can then start to use it with your medium, so your glitters, your gilding flakes, your foils. But one of the most exciting things that I'd kind of forgotten about is you can use it on cotton and you can use it on canvas. So obviously it's not washable, but if you've got a canvas bag or an actual canvas. So we'll show you some of that because I was like,
sometimes you do like little decorative hearts, don't you, and bunting and things like that. So the fact that it'll actually go into fabric, I think, is brilliant. So we'll be chatting about that as well. But you're going to get 10 sheets for just £9.99. And don't forget, if you're buying these in this hour, this is the only thing that you buy, you'll generate a £5 credit ready for you to use tomorrow. So you're actually kind of getting the £5 of that back as long as you're spending £30 or more tomorrow. So 952250 if you fancy those. Now, what have we got for you? Scotch tape. This is something that is so useful and it is brilliant. We regularly see crafters come and using this because it's just perfect for, well, all sorts, to be fair.
Definitely, it's great for holding your stencils down, for holding your dies through as you put them through your die cutting machine, but also you can use it for masking techniques as well. So it's great for putting straight lines on things. So just when you want to mask off a straight line, so you can use it to actually craft with as well as holding things in place.
Love it. And you can actually write on it as well. If you've got certain pens, it'll allow you to write on there. And you're getting 2 of those rolls there. One to use and one to lose, in my own personal experience. £13.99, 999217 if you're wanting to get hold of those. Now, we've got a 7-day saver to share with you as well. And this is brilliant. It's super smooth cardstock. And we've got a variety of different ways for you to get hold of these. Oh, no, they're actually both in the same bundle. I didn't realise. I thought they were 2 separate items. So you're going to get your A4 as your 300 GSM. That is a good weight cardstock, Claire.
It is our super smooth, so it's not any different than when we sell it in speciality sizes. That is our super smooth cardstock. So all the things we say you can do with super smooth, that's the cardstock. So
brilliant for your blending, your stamping.
Yeah, your alcohol inks, your watercolour pencils.
Good point.
All of those things.
And you can see there, because of the weightiness and the sturdiness of the card, it's going to be able to cope with those different techniques that you're going to be using on it. You've got 120 sheets in total. You've got A4 as well as your A3 in there as well. And your A3 is double your size of your A4. There you go. And you are getting all of that in there for just £16.98. So definitely worth stocking up on those. It's a 7-day saver, so it only launched at 8 o'clock this morning, and on the website you'll find all of our other 7-day savers as well. You only have through until Sunday morning next week to take advantage of those, but if they do sell out prior to then sadly we have to say goodbye to them. Look at the 5-star reviews that we've got there. Like-minded crafters just like you that have purchased these items and been kind enough to come back and leave reviews. So check them out if you're wanting to. It's definitely worth having a little look at because there's some really good points that come up with regards to those, and it's always a good, interesting read as well. But then you've got all your different foams. Obviously we've got the bumper bundle that we were talking about, but if you want to double up on any of those, you want to go for extra bits and pieces, then you can do. If you wanted to go for your red liner tape, but you just want a particular width, maybe the 9mm, then you can get it in a bundle just with your 9mm. But of course, if you've never tried it before, then that selection pack that we've got with all the different widths in there is definitely the way to try it out. So that is the key thing to think of. Now, this is our last hour with Claire today. So if you've got any questions and you're wanting to ask, if you've got a sticky situation that is a bit, well, not sticky, and it's not sticking, and you want to know which of the glues is the best glue to use for that scenario, then get in touch, ask the question, and we'll get that question through to Claire, studio@thecraftstore.com. So, Claire, what are we going to chat about first?
Let's do a little bit of EVA. So we'll just finish off a card that we were working on earlier.
Okay.
So just to show the versatility of EVA and why it is really it's probably my go-to glue out of all of them. It's the one that I use in my general crafting day to day, and then layer the others on top for specific jobs, really. So on this card here, we've matted and layered with the EVA, and the great thing is, as you can see, we've got some glitter card in there. It's stuck that down no problem and dried really well. So, you know,
that's a tricky one, can't it, glitter card? Because the coating,
But the EVA has such a strong grab, it's stuck no problem. It's taken the felt and a button, a little bit of pollen, some, you know, we've given some shapes, some flowers, and it's taken all of that. So we'll just finish it off. So we will add a little bow, so it'll stick sticky little bows on.
Lovely. Now, obviously, when your glue comes to you, it comes in your 225ml bottle. And what Claire's doing is she's using some of those fine detail bottles that we've got. So you could add that in alongside. So it means that you're not using too much as well. That's the key thing, isn't it? You're getting it where you want it to go and you're not going to use too much.
Definitely, especially for matting and layering. I'm just going to put a little bit on here now, actually. You know, I use so much less glue now. I've got them in the bottles, and that'll.
Oh, what a lovely card!
But you've got that nice kind of wiggleability. I just need to hold that one on a little bit. There you go. And we will. What we'll do is, so every time I use these bottles, I'll give them just a quick. I'll just wipe any excess glue off the nozzle.
Well, I'm guessing if not careful, you could stick to the nozzle. It's that good, the glue in there.
Yeah, so just always give them a quick wipe.
Okay.
And then we'll use the finer one. So this is a little metal embellishment. I'm just going to put some tiny
My goodness,
glue
it's almost like a needle that you've got there.
Yeah, this is so fine. And I'm going to pop that. I've nudged that. There you go. Stay.
Amazing.
And then I've got a couple of like little gems, and these ones aren't adhesive, so I think sometimes you go to your stash and it's got no adhesive on it. So all I'm going to do is I can just pop a couple of little
tiniest of dots.
So I thought we'd do it on the black as well, just so you can see it a little bit better. And then fiddly little hands in there. Wow. I am going to put a little bit more under there. There you go. There you go. And on there, we'll put the clear ones on there.
And this is so good, because like you say, quite often you'll buy adhesive gems that have got like a backing on them, but they can dry out over time, can't they?
Definitely. You go to the packet and there's just half of it in there. When you're not using your glue, do put the lid on it. It'll stop it drying out. And it means you don't lose the lid, but you know, having that nib within there means you just don't lose it. It's brilliant.
That's it. Perfect.
Or a little pink one, and we'll pop
a
clear one up there. Obviously, you can see the glue on that one at the minute, but once it dries, it'll dry
it dries clear and matte, does it, this one?
It does, yeah.
Wow.
So there you go.
Beautiful. Right. That is fabulous. Now, this is a card that did start to be put together during the last hour with Yanis. And of course, when you've got something that's got a little bit of weight, I mean, obviously the dough fell away then, but I'm guessing you would leave it to dry flat, wouldn't you, to start with? That's the key thing. But have a look at some of the different things that you can actually glue with this. This is the key thing. You lose it in so many different scenarios. Sometimes it's tricky working with coated cardstock because it doesn't like being used with certain types of adhesive. So things like your low shed glue glitter there without any problem at all. You're not going to lose that top layer. You might be adding your little wooden clothes pegs, as you can see here. That's going to stick in place. Your fabric flowers, your paper flowers, your bows, your little kind of strands of hessian or maybe baker's twine with those. Using it with your different styles of embellishments. It could be resin that you use, and it could be plastic, acrylic, wooden MDF embellishments there, buttons, buckles, you name it, even down to your fabric. You could be adding those, and even your gorgeous little pom-pom trim that you've got there, all of those are going to be added in place, all with that fabulous adhesive. Now, when you get yours, obviously it comes in the larger bottle. We saw Claire working with those smaller bottles, so it might be worth adding some of those in. But there are so many different scenarios when you might be using it. I mean, have a look at this. Beautiful card there. Everything stuck in place, all of your embellishments, everything stuck in place with your EVA glue. Again, three-dimensional work with those beautiful flowers, as you can see there, all stuck in place so quickly and so easy. But it's not just limited to your cardstock. All those different materials that we've just been looking at, you can use them as well. So £13.99 is a good size bottle there. Definitely worth having a go at. If you've never used it before, give it a go. Check out the reviews if you're wanting to. It's always useful if you've never used a product before to see what other crafters are thinking about it. Yeah, do certainly pop that one into your basket. So 538442 is your item number, £13.99 if you're wanting to get hold of it. But do consider getting hold of those additional bottles that we saw. So what sort of reviews have we got of these? What sort of things are people saying? So let's have a look. The best glue ever in capital letters. Highly recommended. The non-clog bottles are exactly perfect for this detail glue. Nice suggestion, add those in alongside. You can get hold of those if you want to. £13.99, you can add those in. Good tackiness in the glue, and the card is good for stamping as well. Oh, so there you go, a little reference there to the Super Smooth, I think. So you can see that you've got some fabulous elements there, fabulous features, all 5-star reviews there. So of course, go through them at your leisure if you're wanting to. But if you are wanting to get hold of your bottle, just £13.99 is your price, and 538442 is your item number. There you go, pop it into your basket. Oh, I've had a question, Claire. Hello, Lou. Lou's been emailing in. Good evening, good to have your company. So, Lou's asking about what type of glue would you recommend with regards to mirror card? Now, I don't know, you're talking about gluing onto mirror card. Okay, gluing onto mirror card. So maybe if you've got embellishments to go onto.
EVA all the way.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And that will glue mirror card down as well without you seeing those.
So you could use that to actually match your cardstock down as well.
Yeah, because normally you would see that little
true,
zigzag,
you can see it, yeah.
And you just don't get it with this.
Love it.
So part of it is the low water content in it, so it's not reacting with your card. So yeah, EVA.
There you go. Any more questions like that, get in touch, studio@thecraftstore.com. So don't forget, if you're going for your EVA glue, it comes in a larger bottle, so do decant it into your smaller bottles that you've got here as well. 5-star reviews on these as well. Let's have a little look at these. Oh, I've got a tickle. Let me just clear my throat just a few moments. So, was it that loud that you could still hear me? I'm not a dainty cougher. What can I say? 603282. Now, that's going to get you your 2 fabulous bottles. Now, we've got 5-star reviews with regards to these as well on the website. So, if you do want to jump onto the website, go for it, Alex. Thank you. You took the hint eventually. So, quick delivery, great item. Small glue bottle is super for fine work. And I think that's the key thing. You've actually got your 2-size bottles with these. So is it the blue one that's got the finer detail?
Blue one's super fine,
yeah. Okay. Wonderful. So if I just take that off, you can see that there. It's almost like a syringe needle that you've got there, isn't it? So that is I mean, it's tiny, absolutely tiny. I'm going to step out of the way so you can actually see that in all its glory. I had a cheeky little swig of water at the same time. Now let me just open the other one up so you can compare the two. And the beauty is with these, you probably noticed it previously. I mean, there is a considerable difference between those two, so you can see it's definitely worth going for them. But you've actually got the lid, and the lid has got that pin. You know how quite often we'll put a pin into the nozzle of a bottle? Sometimes it can rust and things like that, can't it?
Yeah, so these don't rust at all, and again, you just don't lose it on your desk. You know, it's made.
Could be dangerous, couldn't it?
It's made for that product. It's made especially for it. So, you know, perfect fit, doesn't let any air in.
I don't know why I'm doing that with my left hand, because it won't fit.
And that just helps with the, you know, the anti-clog mechanism. So.
Making it tricky for myself there by using my left hand, but there you go. Both of those coming to you $13.99, invaluable when you are working with your glues. And of course, you're going to use these for one particular type of glue. So if you are going for your EVA, then certainly get a set of those. But equally so, if you're considering putting other adhesives in there, then go for another set for those. Don't kind of empty them out, give them a wash and try putting another glue in there. It's good to have several of these on the go at the same time. If you want a new bottle, $13.99 issue price, 603282. So, Claire, what are you up to next?
Let's have a play with some quick stick.
Oh, yes. Now I'm intrigued by this.
So, and we're going to put this on some canvas. So quick stick, like we said, it's a really thin adhesive. What I'm going to do, I'm going to grab some Scotch tape just to hold my dies down so I don't ruin them, which I'm normally quite good at. So this is just the quick stick as it comes out of the pack. I haven't done anything else to it.
Okay.
And we're just going to whiz that through the die cutting machine.
Now, when it comes to die cutting, do we have to consider what type of dies we're working with or which machine?
No, not at all. And because it's so thin, it'll take really intricate dies. So,
just imagine using these with all your lacy dies. You could almost be making your own backgrounds, couldn't you, with background dye?
Definitely.
Sentiments as well.
Yeah, really good for sentiments when you're trying to get them in a certain place, or you don't want to get adhesive on the back. So.
And I'm guessing because it's double-sided adhesive, you don't have to think about which way round you're cutting your sentiments, because quite often if you're cutting a sentiment from your mirror card, you've got to make sure that you're doing it a certain way round, otherwise it's like a mirror version, isn't it? It's not reading the right way.
So.
Oh my goodness, look at all those little bits that are falling away.
Yeah, so you could use those. So it's quite good if you're using them for like paper piercing, piecing and things like that.
I'll pop the different bits back in.
Yeah. You know, if you cut this, if you attach it to coloured card, you can then make mosaics kind of with it. We've got
good idea. And I'm guessing if you were to kind of cut a rectangle around some of those areas, you're almost using like a negative of those as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to...
Don't waste anything.
I'm doing this and I want this to be not perfect. So I'm just chopping into this hexagon type shape. So we've got a couple of flowers as well, they'll pop out.
You certainly padded out that sheet, didn't you? You got lots of cut there.
There's loads more on that yet. So we've got the flower and you can see they come out just, and it's because, you know, you've got almost like two really thin sheets of paper and some adhesive. So we don't need that one. We do need that one. I'm going to pick that one up in a minute because that one's sticky. In fact, we'll do this one first today. So because this is... it has got stuck to me. This one is really, really intricate.
Can I show you this just while Claire's getting that? Because obviously it's a bit tricky, her doing it while we're all watching. So let me just very quickly show you just so she can get herself ready. That is the exact same die that Claire was just working with. That is incredibly fine detail. Now, obviously your sheets are super sticky, so when you're working with these, just take your time, be patient with them, get them in the position that you need, and these are the kind of results that you can get. And again, a mini canvas there with just a little wash of colour behind there. But then with that double-sided adhesive sheet, cutting out that design, as you can see there. And of course, there's loads of different ways, loads of different applications that we've been speaking of what you can actually put onto that sheet afterwards. And I can see you've popped this onto a larger canvas in a similar sort of way, Claire.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing now. So I've managed to get the love word down there, and it's just because it's so super fine. It's just come off the backing as
and you've got some large open spaces in there, so that would be a tricky cut, whether it was cut out of cardstock, glitter cardstock, whatever.
Definitely.
Really, yeah.
So that's stuck down. So what I'm going to do is take the backing off this now. That's the next fun bit.
Always good if you've got short nails, isn't it?
Yeah. Hold on.
So just a little pokey tool or a pair of tweezers to help you?
Just to start it off, really.
Lovely.
Obviously, you know, while everybody's watching, it takes longer. There we go.
You got it there, haven't you? Yeah, I can see that's coming away.
So if there's a bit where it's going in two directions, you can always just snip the back.
That's a good idea,
in,
yeah. Just break it down, yeah. Good idea.
So there you go. There we go. There you go.
And I think that's the thing is, just make it into small pieces as you go. Yeah, it's amazing when you're looking at all the different ways that you can use it. I mean,
of course, it's got stuff
that you can actually put your heat embossing on this
That's
as well.
That's what I'm going to do, but it just doesn't want to play today.
That's okay. Well, I've got the board here, so let me show everybody on the board the effect that you get. Because, of course, when you're doing it in the comfort of your own home, it's completely different, isn't it? So here you've got actually a sparkle adhesive, and not a bit adhesive, should I say, a sparkle heat emboss on there. So, again, it's laid it down. So that means that the actual adhesive sheet is going to be able to cope with regards to the heat applying to it. This one over here, you've actually got, and I'm guessing it's a case of that you've got the different elements with regards to this, where you've got the different, obviously the elements of the different glitters. You're revealing different areas with that. So you'd be peeling back the outer parameter of the butterfly and getting that darker outline, getting your glitter in place, getting the silver glitter through those little spaces there as well. Over here as well, this looks like it's a little bit of your foiling. You know how you've got like your metal flakes? So using that to get that wonderful effect there. And it's almost like a little raised effect that it's creating with these as well, which is beautiful. Down at the front here again, going onto fabric. The thought of it going onto fabric, I think, is amazing. So maybe using things like your foils on these, maybe you're using things like, well, again, I suppose you could heat emboss it onto fabric if you wanted to. It's not something that you're going to be able to wash though, so just bear that in mind. And then again here you've got your paper piecing where those little slots have gone filled in again with the corresponding papers, and again more of an open weave fabric there with a little bit of glitter on there. So it is a very versatile sheet, isn't it? 10 of those for £9.99. And lovely Claire's working with them on her canvas. So how are you getting on over there, Claire?
The little tiny one decided not to work, but what we've done is I've put the honeycomb one on.
Oh, nice, yes.
And I'm just going to throw some gilding flakes on. So
lovely.
These are the nice big flakes.
And in all fairness to Claire as well, you're working almost like on a canvas when you work on it. I liken it to working on a trampoline because you've not got the support, have you? You've got the open area, so it can be quite kind of up and down and bouncy.
It's those things, you know, you do it at home, goes right every single time.
Right, don't worry.
So
that's effective, I like that.
But you can see it sticks to the canvas beautifully. So it's just another way to get, you know, different textures, different results onto your canvas.
I love it. And don't forget, keep those little hexagons that have fallen away, because of course you can kind of have those smattered around on a project as well and use them in a similar sort of way. And again, the honeycomb there, and using the fabulous gilding flakes that you've got, because you get so many different colours within the gilding flakes, you almost get that kind of transition of your coppery tones into your golds and your silver tones running right the way through. And you can see that it all is stuck so brilliantly. None of it comes away on your hand there, but what a lovely backdrop. Beautiful. Now, I can see you working with the flower next.
I am. I'm just going to pop the flower on, and what we'll do with this one, we could use glitter, or we could use heat embossing.
Oh, I don't mind either way.
So, again, super fine. You can do that, and then it's just getting it to lift, which is fine.
Well, you're working with very fine detail elements as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
so like you
and
say, it's a separation.
That is the lovely thing about Quick Stick, is the amount of detail that you can get. So once it starts to lift, it normally lifts in one go.
Beautiful. Now, we had a request for heat embossing, so I don't know if you're all set up for that, but
I am.
She loves a bit of heat embossing.
There you go.
Katie?
So let me squidge that on there. So I've normally got an extra piece of adhesive. So when I've cut like square bits of the Quick Stick out, you end up with square pieces that you can then use to hold these down when you're working on them.
Oh, that's a good tip.
So obviously not today. I am going to use a bit of this.
So on the canvas that I've got, I'm trying to decide what you've actually used, whether it's glitter on this particular one. I'm not too sure as well.
Which one's that?
That one. Is that glitter that's gone on there?
Yeah, I think it is.
It's gorgeous glitter.
So what I'm going to do...
Black, and it's got kind of like a reddy tone in there as well. Ultra fine glitter adhesive. Sorry, sticking to that adhesive sheet, I have to say, with regards to that one. But the fine detail, amazing.
That's what I needed. So that's just a spare piece of the backing paper. And if you use that, you can then just press down onto things. There you go. That's
perfect.
The bit that I'd missed.
It's that
so
trampoline bit in the middle of your canvas.
Let's go gold. That's in my hand. I'm just going to pop all that in there. We'll tidy you up later.
Oh, look at that. That's a pretty die as well. I like that one. Is that a pink frog die?
It isn't.
Oh.
Apparently, I'm not...
Oh, no. Has anybody paid the bill? Anybody got 50p for the meter? We'll get that sorted. Just while we're getting the power, that's one thing we had to remember to do, and we forgot all about it. So here you've got obviously different scenarios of working with that quick stick sheet. You can use it in so many different ways. Use it with your dies, add in things like your fabulous glitters, your heat embossing powders, your paper piecing. It's perfect for all of those different scenarios. I can hear a heat gun going, so let's head back over to Claire and see how she's getting on. Oh, there it goes.
There it goes.
See, this is the other thing as well. Quite often with sheets that you use in double-sided adhesive sheets, you can't necessarily use them with a heat tool. So the fact that you can do that with these, I think is brilliant as well. So definitely worth getting hold of them. Getting busier and busier with regards to these. So yeah, if you're wanting to heat emboss, and I was just saying, Claire, 'cause sometimes it's tricky with a heat gun for you to hear what I'm saying, but it's not every double-sided adhesive sheet that you can use with a heat tool.
No, it's not. Sometimes what it'll do is make the adhesive underneath lift, but this is lovely, lovely with it. So yeah,
what a lovely design.
So
beautiful. Love it. Now, is there anything else you needed to add to your canvas?
I can pop my. I am just dropping things.
Oh,
now.
bless you.
Sorry, right, I'm good. I've got the word always, so we'll pop that on.
Wonderful.
And we'll pop some glitter on that one. So we'll just pop you there. And obviously, you know, you can use all your normal techniques on a canvas that you normally would.
Lovely. And again, you just apply that backing and just make sure that it's...
Yeah, so this is quite nice if you want to maybe have a tinker into mixed media and you haven't got maybe a lot of things.
Yes.
If you've got some card making things and some dies, this means you can have a bit of a play and see if you like that.
That's a good point actually as well. And I'm guessing it can kind of lift a little bit as you go and kind of almost have like an ombre effect with your glitters as well with these.
Definitely. So
again, keep that backing, don't throw anything away.
Yeah, the backing's brilliant. There we go. And we'll find some glitter, some dark brown glitter. And we'll find a tub to throw it in. There we go. And we'll just throw that on there gently in a loving way.
Oh, look at that.
And there you go.
Beautiful.
So
I love it. I love it, absolutely beautiful.
There you go.
That is gorgeous, thank you.
Thank you.
I love it, absolutely amazing. So if you're wanting your sheets, your A4 sheets, you're going to get 10 of those for £9.99. You can use them in so many different scenarios. Works out just £1 a sheet, but of course, you're not necessarily using the whole of the sheet in one particular scenario. You're going to be die cutting it, you're going to be using your embossing powders with it, you're going to be using your fine detail glitter with it. So many different occasions, so you definitely want this one in your stash. So 952250 if you're wanting those. Now, just as we started off with the demonstration, our lovely Claire was using the removable tape. Now, this is perfect if you're wanting to temporarily put something in place, holding things down like your dies, your troublesome dies. If you're wanting to keep them in place so they don't move, and of course the last thing that you want is for your dies to overlap, then this is a wonderful tape for you to use. Now, you're going to get 2 reels of these. Brilliant as well for your crafting environments as well. So maybe you're wanting to mask off certain areas, get little techniques like this where you're masking off an area and stamping and then creating your reveal with that lovely solid line, as you can see there. Nice and easy to do when you've got the right tape for the job. There you go, £13.99, 999-217 if you fancy those as well. So if you fancy getting hold of those, please do. Now, Claire, you're getting yourself for your next demonstration. What is it you're going to be using on this occasion?
Let's go foam sheets.
Oh, okay, and this is where we've got the foam on the roll. So shall I explain to you what you're going to get in the bundle, and then we'll go over to Claire while she's just getting herself ready. So within this particular bundle, you are getting your reels of adhesive tape. Now, it's double-sided with regards to the foam content that you've got in here. So you've got your continual roll of foam. So this is perfect when you want to do things like your shaker cards, because you've got no breaks in there. And of course, when you're doing something like a shaker card, the last thing that you want is a break where you've got a gap that your glitter, your beads, your sequins can slip through. Then you've got 2 reels of your foam pads. So you can see with these, they're separating up. You've got a backing there with these. You've got like a finger lift with them as well. So it's really easy for you to remove those backing. But again, they are all on one particular, are these all on one roll? Oh, there's elastic band around the middle. I wonder what that was. Oh dear, I really do need to get my eye. I've been stood next to it. How could I not recognise that as an elastic band? Oh dear me, I'm getting old. And there you're also getting your foam sheets. Now these are brilliant because you've got different thicknesses of these. And again, these are brilliant for punching, for die cutting, for using in loads of different ways. And I didn't show you the boards with these, did I? Now you're going to get a couple of packs of these. So here you've got them being used, your 2mm and your 3mm foam sheets. With these, you could be using them for shapes. So if you're doing things like your shaker cards, maybe you're going to use them and die cut your pieces. So it could be that you're making a shaker card and you're using something like a star aperture with those. You can use it, even 3mm is die cuttable. You can use it with your mirror card or your mirror board and emboss it, as you can see there. Keeping that embossed detail in there. And I've got a little shaker card that shows why it's so useful to have it on a roll, because it will bend around the corners. So with that particular one, if you were making this heart and you were putting like little squares all around the edge, because you've got such a curvature, you would end up with some little gaps in there, which always makes it tricky. And sometimes when you're doing your mats and layers, you don't necessarily want to be just using your foam tape on the corners. You don't want a saggy middle, do you? You want the whole piece to be using that foam, which you can do when you've got so much in this set. £24.99, and Claire's going to be using these in her next demonstration. So what's the first demo?
So we're going to die cut some of the foam sheets, but I just want to show you what I do with my foam pads.
Okay, right.
So basically I take them and just put them, just rip them into little...
Oh, so you take them off the main roll?
Yeah, and just keep them in either a little bag or a little thing. Oh. So it means I don't have to carry the big roll with me
that is a good
all
point.
the time. And you know, that's just 100 of them.
Yes.
So they'll keep you going for ages and ages. So I'm going to use, that's the 2mm sheet. So this is your sheet, and all I've done is stuck some white card on top of it. Okay. And trimmed it down. I'm using 2 of our pink frog dies. This is our bride and groom die.
Lovely.
And we will pop this through the die cutting machine. Again, I've just held those in place with... Do
you have to think about the thickness of your cardstock when you're putting it onto this kind of foam, and then the die's got to cut through it all?
Not really. If you were worried, if you thought it needed a bit more welly, you could use a metal plate.
That's a good point. Add a shim to it. Yeah, good point.
I think there's one in there actually. So we'll put that in so it's on top so it can cut through, because obviously it's a couple of extra layers. But it doesn't seem to cause too many problems, to be honest.
That's good to know.
And this is super smooth that we're cutting, so that's 300 GSM.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. So it's
and these dies have got some detail on them as well. I wouldn't do anything super intricate. Okay. You know, I think, you know, you
something like a lacy finish.
Yeah, I think that'd really struggle.
Okay. That's fair enough. But we've got the dies that Claire's using on the front of the card here, and you can see such a clever idea of actually using your foam. It's a bit tricky to show you on the finished card, but you can see, you can imagine if you turn that to the side and you were using your foam squares or your foam rectangles, then you're going to see them, aren't there? There's going to be lots of little gaps there, but it's a seamless finish between the characters and the mirror card that's sitting underneath, so really clever idea.
And these ones, I've actually die cut this exactly the same. The nice thing is it gives you a really nice finish. So, you know, sometimes if you use foam pads, you don't, on a big piece, you don't get it quite even.
That's a good point, yeah.
Whereas this, because it's all the way underneath, and that will just pop out of there. So again, it's like making your own kind of foam stickers,
it's a good
really.
point, actually, yeah.
But you know, it means, so for this, if I'd done this with foam pads, and don't get me wrong, I do love my foam pads, I would have had to have cut quite a lot of different shape bits to put it in, and this just does it all in one. We'll pop her on there. And then we can, and I've got another piece, so this is some of our non-shed glitter, and again, I've cut that with foam underneath.
Oh, so the kind of label was cut. Oh,
yeah,
clever.
Yeah, all of this was cut as well. So you can see, and the nice thing is as well, when you're using foam, there's no mess either.
Yes.
So if you want a very clean finish, this is a great way to do it.
Love it, there you go.
I'm just gonna quickly mat and layer this together.
Okie
now,
dokie.
because I want this flat, and especially because it's speciality, I am gonna use our EVA just to pop this together, so you can see that's my go-to glue generally for matting and layering.
It's fabulous because you're taking your super smooth and adhering it to your mirror card there.
Yeah, and
two different types of cardstock.
Yeah, so this is our super smooth that we've just put a bit of ink on. We've just inked through a stencil to add a little bit of detail.
Now, if you're after your super smooth, we've got that as a 7-day saver, so 8 o'clock this morning. A discount was activated on this, and it's brilliant because you've got your A4 and your A3 in this bundle, so 2 very useful sizes. You're going to get 120 sheets in total, mix over your A4 and A3, and it's 300 GSM, so really good base, super smooth, perfect for all your different techniques, your stamping, using your alcohol markers on it, things like your textured paste, all the different scenarios that you're going to be working with. It means that you've just kind of got like a go-to cardstock that you can use, and the details are there should you want to take advantage of it. 462614.
So we can see we've made nice matte layers there, and because we've used the EVA there where I've not got it quite straight.
Oh, you've got a bit of wiggle room.
I have got a little bit of wiggle room. So there you go. And that goes that way up. So just make sure I'm sticking this on the right way up. And we can pop that. We'll pop that near the top so we can put a sentiment.
Oh, that's lovely.
And hopefully there's a sentiment hiding under here somewhere. Let's move those plates out of the way. And some foam out of the way. There you go. There's a congratulations hiding in there.
Wonderful.
And actually, because that's a nice narrow strip, what I'm actually going to do is use some of our foam roll-on.
See, this is a good point. When you've got the different kind of formats, you can just kind of go to whichever one suits that particular occasion.
Yeah. And, you know, that is the nice thing about having all of them within one bundle.
Yeah, definitely.
And that will just go on there.
Lovely.
There you go.
Beautiful, all done. What a fabulous card. And the thing that I love about it is there aren't any, you know what my thing is? When I work with mirror card and I use a wet glue, I end up with thumbprints all over the mirror card. Not a fingerprint inside, so well done, love that one. Thank you very much, Claire. So there you go. You can see why it's such a brilliant bundle. You've got all the elements coming together. They are available on the website as well, so if you're wanting to get more of the sheets or more of the foam on a roll, then you can do. But this is a lovely way for you to try them all together with with that cheeky discount of £5.50. So if you want more of your adhesive sheets, you've got 8 of those 2mm for £11.99. You can add those in alongside. Equally so if you want to go for your 3mm, they will be there. Also your foam on a roll, and of course your tabs, your foam tabs on a roll. They are all on the website. You just need to go and hunt them down and then add them into your basket. They are all there, as you can see. Lots of other adhesives with regards to the show. Of course, we are rapidly getting to the end of the show. I don't know where the time's gone. Your red liner tape as well, that is a brilliant one to go for. There's loads of different ways you can work with not only the red liner tape, the Collal 3-dimensional glue as well. In fact, shall I show you? I showed you one of the boards earlier on with the red line. I didn't realise this one was underneath it. So this is using your red liner in a purely decorative format, because you've got your different widths. You've got your 3, your 6, your 9 and your 12 mil. And that's simply running it across some black card. What an effective result with that. So on there you've got the top one that you've got there is your, oh no, hold on, let me start off here. We've got your red, which is your glitter. You've also got your foil, which I think is this particular one, your heat embossing, which is going to be your gold down at the bottom, and finally you've got your flakes, your fabulous glitter flakes, or gilding flakes should I say, featuring there. So very, very effective, but you can use it in lots of other scenarios as well. So with this one, again, your 3 different widths give you 3 different results. So again, gilding flakes, heat embossing, you've got your glitter with these, using it with your non-shed glitter card, your low shed glitter card, your mirror card, all of these. Then you've got things that have got a bit of a kind of a tricky layering to them. They're not necessarily smooth. Things like your jute, you've got lots of peaks and troughs with that. And then you can see that the red liner tape has been used to actually adhere your lace on top of that, but you can't see it through there. It's almost invisible. The lace, again, you've got lots of kind of open areas with your lace, but it's hidden. And the ribbon as well. The thing is with ribbon, if you try and use a wet glue to adhere your ribbon, you will see almost like little grease marks where you've put that glue down. So that's why your red liner tape is such a brilliant one to work with. And you've got your 3, 6, 9 and 12 mil. Don't forget, each one of those reels is the equivalent of 6 of your standard 5-metre rolls there. So you're getting a lot for your money there. 120 metres in total, £13.99. 825 810. So Claire, what are we up to next?
Right, really quickly, because I know we haven't got a lot of time left. All I've done is I've used our Scotch tape to mask off on a piece of card.
Lovely.
And I've actually gone ahead and stamped some flowers. But what you can see is when I tear this off, where I've stamped underneath the Scotch tape, it doesn't damage it at all.
Oh yes, yeah.
So, you know, don't think, oh, I've stamped that, I can't go in and use it. Absolutely perfect for that. Now then, this is one of my little favourite techniques at the moment. I'm going to keep that tape. So all I've done is, this is some black cardstock, and I have attached some quick stick to the back of it.
Oh, okay, right.
So I tend to do it in a bigger piece. So I'll stick it to a piece, grab my trimmer and do like little shavings off it. And what this is quite good for is, if, you know, sometimes when you're making a card and you want to add another mat and layer and you haven't got a piece big enough,
yes,
this will give you like a faux kind of border.
That's clever, yeah.
So what we're going to do is just put that on the top of there, so where that is.
Look.
So it gives it an extra piece of dimension, but using, you know, sometimes you've got some really beautifully coloured card as well that you're just like, oh, I don't want to use it all underneath something. So you can just pop it on top. But it makes it look as though you've matted and layered that, but it actually gives it an additional shadow as well.
Lovely. Now, if you're wanting your quick stick sheets, they are there on your screen now. I've just grabbed the little board for the Quickie glue pen, because we've got a fabulous stamped image where Claire has been working with the Quickie glue pen to add detail to a stamp. I mean, here you can see it's outlining a stamp very similar to the one that Claire's working with. So you can get right into the nitty gritty, as you can see there, with the design. As you work your way along here, you can actually colour fill large areas with your Quickie glue pen as well, just like you were using a colouring in pen. Absolutely brilliant. The pollen, obviously it's the lilies that we're seeing being used within the demonstration. You could go in with a pollen and add a little detail if you wanted to with your pen there. And you've got complete control, little tiny elements there, using that pollen, putting it in place. You can draw with it just in the same way as you would draw or write with a regular pen, and heat emboss. Imagine if you've got some fancy writing and you do your lettering, then you could actually heat emboss, or you could just come in with your glitter and go over the top of there. Again, fine glitter is going to adhere to it beautifully, as will your chunky glitter as well, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you are using your foiling, then you can use your foils to create with those. Your gilding flakes, you get that tackiness with this, because when you lay it down, it is blue, it will go clear and it's tacky, and that's when you can start using things like your gilding flakes on there. And what about drawing through stencils? That is a clever idea. We've all got loads of those in our stash, haven't we? So yeah, just a few of the ways that you can work with those 4 pens that you're getting for £9.99. So let's see how Claire is getting on with that fabulous card. Did you manage to put your card across there?
Oh, I did. We got that far. But because you wanted to look at the Quickie glue pen, I've just left it to one side.
Okay.
So, yeah, that'll be fine. So all I've done is a Quickie glue pen. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do all of this stencil because it's a bit big.
That's
but
okay.
It'll give you an idea that you can obviously draw around your stencils and use all of those things on it. And because it is a roller ball, you can just draw with it.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
You know,
and it's something that we're familiar with, isn't it? That feeling of a pen or a ballpoint pen in your hand. So it isn't anything that feels very alien. It's not like you're working with a calligraphy pen or something a little bit different.
If you think it's not coming out quite fast enough, just slow down a little bit and just, you know, just make sure that it is rollering, if that makes sense.
Lovely. And you can see it comes out blue and it dries clear, does it, with this one?
Yeah, so you can see it started to dry here. I'd probably leave it a little bit longer if I was going to use
before we come and apply the foil, shall I give you some of the reviews that we've got on our website?
Let's,
give us a few moments,
just let it dry a little bit longer.
Perfect. You can see, I mean, simple, excellent. That's all you need to say with that. A very good, where am I? Great, very good to use for putting detailed glitter in place. Very good point there as well. On the Christmas cards, bringing them to life. Love that idea. Very good, and the price is brilliant. Very pleased with them. And that's it. I have to say the price that we've got is phenomenal. You're getting all 4 of those for that price. Whereas as I say, when I have my craft store, I'm sure they're about £4, £4.50. There are absolutely loads and loads and loads of 5-star reviews, as you can see there. Very useful, reasonable price, perfect for when you want to add small areas of glitter on handmade cards. And I think that's the thing. If you're wanting to get right into the fine detail, you need to have the right pen that will do that. Even with the fine detailed nozzles and the glue in a bottle, it can be a bit of a tricky one to do. We're going on and on and on and on. My goodness, that's only page 1 of them. There's loads there. But £9.99 will get you all 4 of those. So how are we looking? Do you think we're dry now?
I think we are. We're definitely drying a foil. And that is the other thing, you saying that you can add detail to like your pattern papers.
That's a good point,
you can go and add a bit there. So just going to rub over the top there. You can see it's already.
Just imagine the kids writing their names with these and then using foil on top. Oh my goodness, they're going to love it.
That's what I wanted. So you've got that, we've got some glitter.
Oh, that looks so cute.
That at it.
You can't see whether it's like a hidden message, isn't it?
It is until it comes off now. So
and you don't have to rush, do you? Once it's gone tacky, oh, there you go.
We've also got, you can heat emboss with it as well.
Oh, okay.
So we've got a little star there.
Now we're down to the last 45 seconds of it. It's been a very busy hour. Lots of you got goodies in your basket. Now is a good time for you to check those baskets out. But as you can see, that final demonstration there with a little bit of heat embossing powder with the Quickie glue pens, that is phenomenal. To think that you can actually achieve that with your Quickie glue pens as well. I love it. And I've got a little bit of gilding flakes just to finish it off.
There you go.
Beautiful.
So yeah, all of those things really easy to use. If you can doodle, if you can add detail to
then you can
like
add
your
that
stamped
detail.
Images.
Perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
Love it. Claire, thank you so much. Very inspirational. So yeah, check your baskets out, but don't forget those glue pens, those Quickie glue pens.